We continue following developing news for you out of the Middle East this morning as Israel and the United States trade strikes with Iran. We want to bring in Paul Poast. He's a political science professor at the University of Chicago. Paul, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you for having me on the program.
Well, thank you for being with us. So this is the second time in as many months that you've actually joined us on our program on a Saturday morning after an American attack on a foreign adversary. What's different, Paul, about this morning's operation compared to what took place last month in Venezuela?
Well, on the one hand, there are a lot of similarities in that you saw a buildup in the region surrounding the country, whether we're talking about Venezuela or Iran. You also see, of course, in the case of the Maduro raid with Venezuela, it was directly an attempt and indeed a successful capture of the leader. In this case, it is at least a declared intent that that is what's desired to happen. Now, the biggest difference, though, is that from a logistical standpoint, from an operational standpoint, it would be much more difficult for the United States Special Forces to be able to carry out a Maduro-type raid, say, with the Ayatollah. And I think that's why, when you saw the address by the president this morning, he's actually calling on the Iranian public and perhaps even individuals within the Iranian government to kind of take the lead and possibly overthrow the Ayatollah. So
clearly the thought behind this here, a regime change then.
100%. And of course, this has all sorts of implications. I think when people hear the word or hear the phrase regime change, they immediately think of Iraq. And of course, there's a lot of irony in that because the Trump administration and Donald Trump himself has made the fact that the U.S. does not want to ever end up in forever wars again, such as Iraq, a key part of both, again, Trump's campaign, but also their policy. And it looks like the very motivation that led the U.S. to enter the war in Iraq is now in play with Iran.
So, the United States deep in the middle of ongoing negotiations with Iran over the country's nuclear program. Do you think that's going to be derailed by today's strikes, or do you expect them to continue now?
That is a very important question because my understanding is that following the latest rounds of negotiations, which was on Thursday, the Iranian government came out and said that they had very, quote, deep conversations and that they had a mutual agreement to continue negotiations. But the fact that this strike has been launched, I think if there was already questions about U.S. credibility to commit to an agreement and to actually negotiate, that has been totally lost at this point. And so I think that I would be surprised to see negotiations, at least as they've been going on in Geneva, to continue at this point.
With that in mind, too, and with the strikes that have been carried out, do you think this could possibly be a one-off, or do you feel is the United States going to be facing down the prospect now of yet another war in the Middle East?
Well, according to what has already been shared by President Trump, he even said this is not going to be a matter of hours, or this could be, or even days. This potentially could be weeks. It looks like, at minimum, this is bigger than Operation Midnight Hammer, that of course happened back in June. That was the latest time that or the most recent incident in which the U.S. bombed Iran. This is obviously much larger scale, and it seems like the intent this time is for this to be sustained. The key thing, though, is that it seems like it's sustained airstrikes. There does not seem to be any type of appetite on the part of the Trump administration for going beyond airstrikes, at least in a way that would involve U.S. forces. Now, the other thing, though, to keep in mind is that even if there's no intent to use U.S. forces in Iran, say in the same way it was done with Iraq, we're already seeing that Iran is taking retaliatory steps against the U.S. and Israel throughout the region. And that is where you could see direct harm come to U.S. ground forces.
Professor Poast, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your insight with us.
Thank you again for having me.
We're also going to be bringing you the very latest throughout the morning, everybody, on the Middle East all day long here on CBS News Chicago. We are on the air, online, streaming as well on Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, CBS News app as well, and CBSChicago.com.